Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. Today I am going to explain you the 10th lesson of the Inter First Year English textbook, that is the 5 boons of life. I hope you have subscribed our channel. Yes, don't forget to share with your friends, it will be useful for them also. And I will be uploading the grammar part and the word formation, everything in the upcoming videos. So please subscribe our channel and share with your friends. Come, let's get started. Here the writer. The writer is Mark Twain. He was an American writer, humorist and lecturer. Today we are going to have the explanation of the lesson, the 5 boons of life. 5 boons. What do you mean by boons? Boons means blessings. Yeah, the 5 boons of life. Right? Yes. And now we will know about the writer. Writer means the author. He was an American writer, humorist and lecturer. He is greatly praised as a great humorist of the United States. Humorist means who makes jokes, who makes comedy, who creates humor in the people. Yeah, he is rightly called the father of American literature. Among his notable works are The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. These two are very famous stories in the literature where we see the adventures. Yeah, adventures means going into the forest, into the treasure hunt, all those we see in those stories. Now let's get into this story. Yeah, firstly I'll read the segment 1. In the morning of life came a good fairy with her basket and said, "Here are gifts, take one, leave the others. And be wary. Be wary means be careful. Choose wisely. Oh, choose wisely, for only one of them is valuable." Now here in the story, we find a fairy coming and giving 5 boons. The gifts were 5. What were the 5 boons? The first one was fame. Second one was love. Third one was riches. Riches means money. Money means wealth. Yeah. The fourth one was pleasure. Pleasure means luxury. Pleasure. And the fifth one was death. These are the 5 boons. Okay. So if anyone gives you these 5 boons, which one would you choose? Yeah, so generally we choose riches. We like to be rich. We like to enjoy our life, spend, buy anything that we want. Generally people would choose riches. Let us see what this person chose. There is no need to consider, and he chose pleasure. What did he choose first? He chose pleasure. Pleasure means enjoyment. Yeah, just like that, enjoying life is called pleasure. Whatever desires are there in our heart, whatever wish is there in our heart, fulfilling all that happily is called pleasure. He went out into the world and sought. Sought is the past tense of seek. Sought is the past tense of seek. Sought means to search. Sought is from seek. Seek means to search. And sought out the pleasures that youth delights in. But each in its turn was short-lived and disappointing. So when he went and found the pleasure, whatever pleasure was there, everything was very short-lived, only for a short time. Yeah, vain and empty. And after the pleasure, but each in its turn was short-lived and disappointing, vain and empty, and each departing mocked at him. Now look, whatever pleasure he went in, maybe he went and played some gambling, he went and enjoyed with some friends, he went and enjoyed whatever he wanted. After every enjoyment, he felt that it was very much waste. Vain means waste. And after the enjoyment, he felt very empty, very hollow inside. And each departing, as he finished each pleasure, the pleasure, he is imagining the pleasure to mock at him. It was teasing, "Hey, I am going away. Now you are just empty. You don't have anything. Till I am there, you are happy. When I am going, you are just nothing." That is how the pleasure was mocking at him. In the end, he said, "These years I have wasted. If I could but choose again, I would choose wisely. So he regretted, why did I ever use pleasure? I could have chosen the other four, maybe fame, maybe love, maybe riches, or maybe death. I chose the wrong one. If at all I get a chance, I would choose a better one. I will make a wise choice, he said. The fairy appeared and said, look, for to his surprise, the fairy came again. 4 of the gifts remain. One thing you chose of pleasure is over now. You are left with 4 of them. Choose once more. And oh, remember, time is flying and only one of them is precious. Now look, your lifespan is going on decreasing. So you have to choose very wisely so that your choice is the best one. The man considered long. Considered means thought for a while. Then chose love. What was the second choice he made? Love. Yeah. And did not mark the tears that rose in the fairy's eyes. As soon as he said love, there were tears in the fairy's eyes. You will understand why there were tears in the fairy's eyes at the end of this paragraph. After many years, the man sat by a coffin. Coffin means a box in which dead body is kept is called a coffin. The man sat by a coffin in an empty home. There was no one in the house, and he communed with himself. Communed means he was talking with himself, saying, one by one they have gone away and left me. All of them have gone away means either they left the house or they died. And now she lies here. Now there is a coffin, that means that's a dead body. That is, she means that's a girl. She lies here. The dearest and the last, all of them have died. All of them have left me. The last one, my dearest, my sweetheart is here, and she is also dead. Desolation after desolation. Desolation means sorrow, sadness, loneliness has swept over me. I am just sick of this pain and this loneliness. For each hour of happiness and treacherous trader, love has sold me. I have paid 1,000 hours of grief. So how much our happiness I saw in love, 1,000 times of those happiness I have suffered the grief. I am suffering 1,000 times the happiness I enjoyed because of love. So he regretted for choosing love also. Out of my heart of hearts, I curse him. He is cursing love, and he was regretting for choosing love. Choose again. It was the fairy speaking. Come on, he was expecting the fairy to come if he would be given a choice to take out of the other 3. And yes, the fairy came there and asked him to choose again. The years have taught you wisdom. Wisdom means knowledge filled with wise thoughts. That is called wisdom. Wisdom also means the capability to choose between good and bad, between right and wrong. Yeah, surely it must be so. 3 gifts remain. Only one of them has any worth. Remember it and choose warily. Choose carefully. Now these 2 you have done a mistake. You yourself told. Now among the 3 you choose any one of them, he said. The fairy said. The man reflected long. He thought for a long time. Reflected means thought. Then chose fame. What was the third one he took? He took fame. And the fairy sighing. Sighing means, oh, even now you didn't get the wisdom. That was the expression of the fairy. And the fairy sighing went her way. Now the fairy thought it's not such a wise thought of him to take the fame. Years went by and she came again and stood behind the man where he sat solitary. Solitary means solo. Solo means lonely, alone. He was sitting alone. Actually, if a person is famous, there should be a big crowd, big audience, fans around him. But he was sitting alone in the fading day, in the dull day, thinking. And he was going on thinking. Generally, when do we think? We think when we are sad. That means this man was sad. And she knew his thought, and she can very well understand what he was thinking probably. My name filled the world, and its praises were on every tongue. Everyone praised me. Everyone said I was a hero, I was the best. And it seemed well with me for a little while. For a little while I enjoyed that fame. Name and fame I enjoyed, the man said. How little a while it was. I enjoyed, of course, but it was not for a long time. Within no time that enjoyment went off. Then came envy. Then I started, or people started feeling jealous of me. I envied other people. Maybe someone became more famous than him and he was jealous of them. Then detraction. Detraction means criticism. People are telling some or the other. They generally, when people are famous, they are prone to criticism. People criticize them. Criticize means find fault with them. Then calumny, then hate, then persecution. Then people started character assassinating, telling something bad about him, and then started hating him, and then came persecution. Then they got rid of him. No one liked him anymore. Then derision, which was the beginning of the end. And at last of all came pity, which is the funeral of fame. Then came derision, means everyone was laughing at him satirically. How famous this man was one day. Now look at his condition. He is just sitting over there alone. He is just such a bad man. Like that, people started throwing all sort of criticism on him, and then people started feeling pity on him. When someone starts feeling pity, naturally you are not famous. That was the end of the fame. Oh, the bitterness and misery of renown. Target for mud in its prime, for contempt and compassion in its decay. He says, this name and fame are all just waste. They came and they went off just like that. And with them came all this pity, sympathy, envy, all this with it. I do not want fame. I regret taking fame as a choice. And then, choose yet again. It was the fairy's voice. Look, again the fairy is coming and the fairy is giving him one more choice. 2 gifts remain, and do not despair. Don't be discouraged. In the beginning there was but one that was precious, and it is still there. Oh, he says, from the beginning I am telling you, choose wisely, choose wisely. Among these choices there is one best choice. Now think it over and choose the best one. Wealth, which is power. How blind I was, said the man. Now at last life will be worth living. Now he says, yes, it was wealth. Always wealth was there. Wealth means money. Money means riches. There was always wealth. And how foolish I was. I was choosing pleasure. I was choosing love. I was choosing fame. Those were not the good choice. Now I have to make the right choice. It is a wealth, he said. Now at last life will be worth living. I will spend, squander, dazzle. I will just spend the money, buy whatever I want. I will just shine and I will just enjoy my life, he said. These mockers and despisers will crawl in the dirt before me, and I will feed my hungry heart with their envy. I will be so rich, so rich, so rich that people would envy at me. That envy will satisfy my hunger. That means my ego will be satisfied. How much ever I want to look down somebody, I will grow that much luxurious. I will look so much radiant. I will be so rich, he thought. I will have all luxuries, all joys, all enchantments of the spirit, all contentments of the body that man holds dear. I will buy deference, respect, esteem, worship, every pinchbeck grace of life the market of a trivial world can furnish forth. I will buy everything on this earth, and people would look at me and feel jealous of me. That much I will buy, and they would worship me, they would follow me, they would respect me. That's what I want. I have lost much time and chosen badly heretofore, but let that pass. I was ignorant then, but take for best what seemed so. Till now I didn't know what is right. Now I am going to make the best choice, that is a wealth. 3 short years went by. Okay, the fairy granted wealth and went off. After 3 years a fairy came. What happened? And a day came when the man sat shivering in a mean garret, and he was gaunt and wan and hollow-eyed and clothed in rags. Rags means torn clothes. And he was gnawing. Gnawing means eating a dry crust, as dry food piece, and mumbling. He was mumbling and grumbling and sitting, and he was sad, he was poor, he was in complete torn clothes. Curse all the world's gifts. Now he is saying, I curse all the gifts. I curse fame, I curse love, I curse wealth, I curse pleasure, and miscalled everyone. They are not gifts. but merely lendings, pleasure, love, fame, riches. They are but temporary disguises of lasting realities. I thought they were permanent, but they were all just temporary. The pleasure, what did it give him? It gave him pain. What the love gave him? The love gave him grief. Grief means sadness, sorrow. And then what did fame give him? Fame gave him shame. At last people started mocking at him. And what did riches give him? It brought him to poverty. Now he understood what is a real boon. The last choice, that is death. That is what he understood. The fairy said true. In all her store there was but one gift which was precious, only one that was not valueless. How poor and cheap and mean I know those others now to be. Compared with that unestimable one, that dear and sweet and kindly one, that steeps in dreamless and enduring sleep, that pains that persecute the body, and the shames and griefs that eat the mind and heart. Bring it. I am weary, I would rest. Now he got the real wisdom and he says, I am really fed up with these worldly things. I want the permanent solution. I want death. Death will give me relief from shame. It will give relief from grief, poverty and pain. So I want death, he said. The fairy came bringing again 4 of the gifts. Now the fairy came, but it had only 4 gifts. Why? But death was wanting. Death wasn't there. He wanted to ask for death, but it wasn't there. I gave it to a mother's pet. Mother's pet means a small boy, a little child. It was innocent. The child was innocent, but trusted me, asking me to choose for it. You did not ask me to choose. So what the fairy said, oh no, I can't give you death because I have given that boon to a small child. The small child asked me with innocence. It was very innocent and asked me for death. I gave him death. He made the right choice. I gave him death, the fairy said, and he cannot be given death. Oh, miserable me. What is left for me? What not? Even you have deserved the wanton insult of old age. So what the fairy says is, now you are helpless. I can't give you the 5th boon. It's out of stock. Now you are left with no other choice. You have to go through the insult of old age. That is, when people grow old, they were felt unwanted. No one want them. They are considered as useless. They are considered as a burden. So that is the pain you have to undergo. You have no other choice left, says the fairy. So this is what are the 5 boons of life, out of which all the 4 choices the author made them are wrong. So when you are given a boon, it's very much wise to choose the right one. Think over and take the right choice. Now let's get into the question and answers. On to the first question. How many gifts did the fairy offer? What are they? How many gifts? Yes, the fairy offered 5 gifts. This 5th one he didn't get, although the fairy offered 5 gifts. What are they? They are fame, love, riches, pleasure and death. What was the condition laid down by the fairy? What condition did the fairy lay down? The condition laid down by the fairy was to choose any one of those gifts wisely. After thinking, it wanted him to choose. What prompted the youth to choose pleasure at first? Was he right in doing so? The desire of his youth prompted him to choose pleasure as his first choice. No, he wasn't right in doing so. When the youth chose love, there was tear in the fairy's eyes. Why? Yeah, when he chose love, there were tears in the eyes of the fairy because it knew the pain of grief which the love would give him. Why did the youth curse love? Because the youth cursed love because it gave him desolation and grief and loneliness. If you were in the place of the youth, what would you choose? You can write any of these ones, but your sentence pattern should be correct. That is very important. If I were in the place of the youth, I would choose riches. I would choose wealth. Yeah, on to the segment 3. What gift did the man choose the 4th time? The fourth time the man chose wealth. What did he want to do with the gift? Did he succeed? He wanted to spend, squander, dazzle, have all luxuries, all joys, buy respect, esteem, and worship. Did he succeed? No, he did not succeed. Describe the condition of the man after he chose the fourth gift. Just after 3 years of choosing the fourth gift, that is wealth, the man sat shivering in a mean garret, lean and hungry, dressed in torn clothes. He was grumbling and mumbling. Why did he want to choose death finally? He realizes that death is the only gift which suits him and is permanent. So he wants to choose death finally. That is why he wanted to choose death finally. Was ignorance bliss to the child? How? Yes, ignorance was bliss to the child because it could choose death and escape from the harsh realities of pain, grief, sorrow, sadness, and every harsh reality of life. Hope this session was useful to you all. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and share with as many friends as possible. Thank you and all the best for your exams.